Ooh, bright lights, city gonna set my soul on fire. There he is. Hey, hey, welcome everyone. Hi there. I think we're on. I don't know if we're on. I'm waiting for my screen here. There we go. Yay, we're on. All right, as you saw what I had up here, Viva, Viva Las Vegas. I have to tell you, I've got a lot of good connections with Viva Las Vegas. It's great. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm excited today. We really have quite a show today. We're going to have Chief Wayne Baker from DJI is going to join us, and along with Tom Dowling, who is also a retired fire captain there, fire deputy chief. And so we are looking forward to having a great conversation about how DJI drones work in the fire department and help everyone out. And we are looking forward to hearing a lot from responses from everyone here today. I hope everyone there, if you got any questions or anything at all that you'd like to talk about, please put it into the chat room. We will be taking questions, and hopefully after a few minutes here, we're going to actually open up the conversation, and I'll post the link if anybody else wants to come on and directly ask the chief any questions here. So without further ado, let me first of all bring in our co-host Tom Dowling here, and hi Tom.
How you doing, Bob? Hey,
Good.
everyone in the chat. Good
Yes.
to see everyone.
All right. Thanks all. We've got quite a few people in the chat there already. I'm looking forward to a good crowd here today. Thank you, everyone. Let me welcome a few of these people in so far. Of course, Michael Wright was the first one here. Mike, the waiting is the hardest part. John Coopy's out there. Warren, the invisible Warren, and Brian from Waypoints, New England is out there. And Vic Moss from DSPA. We will be talking with him sometime soon. And we also, have quite a few people out there. So I'm really, Bill Thomas is out there. Nice to see you, Bill.
TJ just joined us. John from Flying Flynn Media.
Oh, good. Oh, and TJ's out there. So without further ado, I think, I don't want to take up too much of his time, but I'm so appreciative to get a few minutes of his time. This is the chief, the main person from DJI that really understands why we need to keep DJI drones legal in the United States. And I hope he's going to give us a whole lot of good insight here. Welcome to the show, Chief Wayne Baker. Hi there. Oh, not hearing you, Chief. You're muted.
It's okay. He's a firefighter. It's understandable.
That's okay. We need to hear you. Your microphone still not.
Just some regular technical difficulties here.
No problem.
We all seem to struggle with.
You're muted. Wait, you're muted on my end now. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Where is edit mic settings? I don't know. Unmute microphone. I'm clicking away. Can't
And now
unmute
you
your
gotta
guests.
now you gotta bring him back in.
Okay. Now try to unmute you. Unmute yourself, Chief. You should have a little on the bottom row. There's a button that says mute there. There you are.
Can you hear me now?
There you are.
We sure can.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
I work for a technology company, and I guess I don't know how to use technology.
Yeah, it's your former past also. Let's not
Yeah.
let's
No problem. Well, thank you again. This is Chief's second time on the Old Fart Show here, and I'm really thrilled to have you. You're at home this time.
Yes, I'm not working off my laptop off the bed of my pickup truck. So
Yeah. Last time you were on the tailgate of the pickup truck.
yeah, at the Dr. Pepper Museum. I mean, you
Ah.
couldn't have gotten more
now
Texas than that.
that's something I'd like to check out. I'm a Dr. Pepper fan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, there you go.
Well,
There you
good.
go. Well, it's good to finally meet you, Wayne.
yes.
Yes.
We've
Tom?
traveled in some of the same circles, know some of the same people. You know, I was party to Drone Responders, and I know you know a few folks from my end of town, Mike
Yeah.
Leo.
Oh yes.
You know, John Wakey. I'm pretty sure you know, and you know, so there's a whole cast of characters. 6 degrees of separation, basically. There you go.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
No, and it's great. You know, to be back and again meet you on here. You know, your work throughout FDNY, not just on the robotics and if I remember right, you pretty much got special ops back on track, correct, after 9/11.
Well,
and
you know, as we move our way up the ladder in fire service, we wind up being more involved in the political aspects of the job than the meat and potatoes of the job. And you know, I did 40 years on the job, and I had to navigate my way through. You know, you talk about New York City Fire Department, 18,000 members, so. The complexity and the minutia that follows along with that complexity was something that had to be navigated. I was very fortunate that, you know, I had enough time under my belt that I could go up to senior leadership and give them advice, okay, instead of an order. And because the order had to come from them. Now, the funding was our big issue, Wayne, because, you know, we were already struggling with the can't buy this specific product. Well, I couldn't buy that specific product with grant monies, but luckily, you know, I was bureau chief, so I had a significant budget of my own and an expense budget that we kind of slipstreamed in the product we needed. And then to fill our voids elsewhere, that's when we would tap the grant money. But, you know, worked with some good people over there. The acting chief of department right now, John Esposito, became the chief of special ops, and he had been an ally for over a decade. So, you know, our big thing was force protection first and then force multiplier, because we, you know, saving lives and protecting property is what we all do. So I couldn't sell that because we're already doing that, right? I had to sell keeping names off the wall, keeping names off the memorial wall, okay? And then, you know, Wayne, I had more difficulty convincing my peers than I did my subordinates, because they all grew out of the Nintendo, you know, video game crowd. And my peers were still struggling to use their smartphones. Okay, so you know,
you mentioned that. It's funny because I tell people all the time, 14 years in the station prepared me for my next career. 14 years of, you know, in the off time playing Call of Duty, you know, when we had downtime in the station. That prepared me for drones.
Yeah, you know, I say that to people all the time. You know, my generation, we did not grow up with a game controller in our hand.
No.
You know, I know some people whose babies are operating game controllers and iPads before they can talk.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so it's just not natural for us, kind of thing, to be in that position. So getting that
But
muscle memory was unique.
Yes.
making basically in fire service, we look to develop tools that serve our needs, look to develop tools that further our goal. And this just became one of those tools. I mean, it's going to come to the point where it's as ubiquitous as a Halligan.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the way I look at it.
Absolutely.
Taking away drones from first responders to me is like taking away a hearse tool, the jaws of life.
Yeah.
Okay, which I would say we probably use drones in fire service, or we'll be using drones in fire service more than we would ever use a hearse tool. I think,
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
because as a situational awareness tool, bar none, it's the best thing on the shelf right now.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, we would go to in a a very dense urban environment, putting members up on the roof, the OVs to vent. And as an incident commander, you couldn't have eyes on them. You had an officer up on the roof wearing SCBA and getting limited reports because even that officer on the roof couldn't see his members operating on the roof.
Yep.
But once we were able to get a thermal imaging drone up there in the sky, boy, did the game change. Okay,
Yep.
and
Absolutely.
that I think was a huge one for us, and that awareness. I would say another event I think that solidified the value was fighting a junkyard fire. With thousands of cars in the junkyard, and all you can do is keep pouring water on that whole junkyard and keep moving things out of the way with a fork truck. And before you know it, you're 24 hours in and have basically a hazmat situation now.
Yeah.
You throw up a drone, you can see each and every hotspot, mitigate those hotspots, take up, and go back into service. So
Yeah.
huge game changer. Huge game changer.
So
You
Chief,
mentioned. Oh, sorry.
go ahead. I was going to ask you. I mean, what can we? I kind of want, for the rest of our audience here. Obviously, we want to know what we can do here to help the DJI situation. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
absolutely. And just real quick to touch back on why it is
Yeah.
important that customers have that freedom of choice of product. What product do they want to purchase, and don't have that taken away from them. Just real quick, what Chief was mentioning is, in my area, we have as an incident commander, I had a lot of new construction homes, and I learned from going to classes from FDNY officers, specifically Vincent Dunn, Chief Dunn, and
Vinny Dunn.
learning,
Yeah.
yeah, and learning how important building construction was, and then looking at the newer construction and the dangers that we were facing. So there's a lot of departments in my area that have gone away from vertical ventilation, which is
Yeah.
to me
Yeah.
not a good practice. It for a number of reasons. Victim, getting better conditions for your victims, to your firefighters, to there's for me in my area, there's nothing like having the roof vented and having a crew pulling ceiling underneath to open up that attic space and get
Right.
control of that fire. And so to have that confidence that my crews are going to be safe going on that roof, but more importantly, safe going into that building and knowing there's a reduced collapse potential.
Right.
Drones were what gave that to me, and that thermal imaging to be able to see where the fire is, if it is in the attic. I have one example I show all the time of a fire we had where it was nothing but attic fire, and being able to clearly see the rafters through that heat transfer And when I did put a crew on the roof, they knew right where to go. Now, granted, it doesn't take away from, sounding the roof, inspection holes, and the like. It just gave them more confidence, me more confidence to commit crews onto that roof or underneath. So these kinds of tools, as you said, are becoming invaluable and should be looked at as a standard part of our operations. And that the sad part is what's happening to the industry, not just DJI, the industry as a whole is very unsettling and quite honestly scary to me. It's we have some good American companies that we understand are trying to for a lot of reasons uh, get up to the level that they want to be and have the market share that they want to have and we love competition. It drives the market, but there's the right way to do competition, and then there's the
Correct.
kind that damages, unfortunately, the entire industry. And so I was just talking to an oil and gas user yesterday who mentioned that when you don't understand the technology and then you're a decision maker, this is a real bad um, forecast for damage again to that industry. So, what we need is people to stop, learn the technology, limitations, capabilities before they start making decisions like legislation. And um, unfortunately, again, we're seeing a lot of it also because of geopolitical issues. Um, I'm American. I'm Texan, um, and born and raised Texan, and um, I understand the concerns by our elected officials. I appreciate the concerns by them, but I think sometimes when we put that blanket approach of anything from China is bad, that's a disservice to
Oversimplification.
exactly. And
Yeah.
again, I think there were some actions taken in the past and legislation that were for the right reasons, and I understand. But I think at this point we've become unreasonable in stopping and looking at whether there is a real threat or not. And I can tell you, having been on both sides, an end user uh, that looked at the issues as a fire chief, who it all started out with data security. Oh, these drones could be taking information and sending them back to China, and as a fire chief, data security was something I always had to deal with in my city. We always followed good data security practices. Law enforcement, especially because they're maintaining, criminal justice computer systems. So they have to have CJIS compliance that we had to follow because of our integrated network. And so when I looked at it and said, well, this is easy, I just never connected to the network. DJI came out with things like local data mode, restricted mode, and then moved to smart controllers on just about all our aircraft that there's no information in it if you don't put any information in it, no personal information. Then the goalpost got moved, and then it was I've seen everything from DJI drones are stealing heart rates and sending them back
Yes.
to China.
I've heard that. I was like,
Well,
through
the
my
problem
fingertips.
yeah, it's just a lack of clear data security standards across the board.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that's the biggest issue that we face, because all it is rumor upon rumor of everything that's being lost here. And if we can show China how wood truss construction is dangerous,
Yeah.
then we're serving all of mankind well. Okay.
Absolutely.
Wayne understands that one. I mean, look, what the data we're capturing is for life safety. And what lacks in this country is lack of that clear security standard, which I had to deal with myself on the IT side of the fence. The number of attempted hacks per day is ridiculous. Okay. So protecting data, and then we have HIPAA, on the prior is EMS now.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're bound by HIPAA regulations as well. So, have all this mixed together, and we have in fire service, we have very clear standards. We have to have clear standards, otherwise people die, right? But we don't have those clear standards on this side of the fence. We decided as a country to globalize because we don't want to pay what we want, what would be the cost of this product if it was built here. Yeah. So we've decided to do that decades ago, and now we're trying to pull back, and it's very xenophobic. It needs to be clearly defined standards. And then, look, you want to give U.S. companies a step up? Good. Invest in their research and development. Okay? Let the venture capitalist, see that U.S. government is supporting these companies. So therefore, these companies are viable investment opportunities, and then have money roll in from the VCs.
Yeah.
That in itself will bring competition and will bring better technology to the forefront.
Yeah.
DJI has been leading this, but you've also been leading it in a vacuum because nobody has stepped up to compete, and that's a problem.
I had the opportunity about a year and a half ago to interview Max Lee and from Autel. And his main thing that he was wanted to make a point of is that look around. He said, where's our competition? Where's the competition? There was, he says there is no competition here in all of these, it was really, this is really kind of, I believe, the problem. So if I can interrupt our conversation one more time here, I'd like to bring in another person who we all know very well here into the conversation. And I'm sure you guys all know Mr. Vic Moss.
Yes.
Yes. And there he is. Vic, welcome.
Howdy.
First, Vic, do you have enough leg room there? Do you have enough leg room, Vic?
Oh, yeah, I'm at my desk. Good. I can actually stretch all the way out. I can't touch the wall, so yeah, I'm good.
Good.
In fact,
I'm gonna argue with. First thing I'm gonna do is argue with Tom.
Okay, go ahead.
You said if we can get the U.S. government to support American drone industry, which we want, right? VCs will jump in. VCs have been burned hard in this industry. I don't think there's enough VC money out there that they're willing to risk.
Really?
I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to say, you know what? No, until we get something viable and producible and designed, no, I don't see VC coming in at all. Not if they do, not to the degree. It can't be 5 mil here, 6 mil here, 10 mil here. It's got to be big numbers. And I don't see them doing
Vic,
it.
We're gonna wind up in the same place in less than a month. I believe the Caesar Forum Convention Center
and
commercial UAV Expo. Yeah, 20 days away, right?
29, 30, 31st. I don't know. I just go with where my calendar tells me to go.
Vic. There's product out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, all this product has subcomponents that come from the land that we can never support, right? I mean, this is part of the nonsense also.
Right.
I thought what DJI was doing with some of their licensing was the right way to go, especially when they're facing, the end of a revolver, that at least, and Wayne, the one point I want to make is, if this is such a security issue, why would there be a 5-year phase-in?
Exactly.
To address that security issue, right? So that's part of the nonsense. And then the obscenity of saying, oh, well, the Drone for First Responder program is going to be funded out of the tariffs that we collect off of these Chinese drones. But you're nixing the Chinese drone we need to use in public safety.
Yeah.
So we won't get any tariff money from that. And I still say, where'd my lotto money go? And where'd my legalized cannabis money go? Okay. Because they were all supposed to go to education. And if we think this money is going to be earmarked for first
There
responders,
you go.
I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you from my personal experience, I'm going to call bullshit on that.
That
I
money
have
goes
an
into
idea.
that.
Oh, go ahead, Wayne.
I was just going to say that money goes into the general fund, really.
Yeah.
You know, I learned this all the time when we would get, chargeback money for car accidents, or we would get
Yeah.
donations even. That money went to the general fund, and sometimes I'd have a city manager that would be, no, we'll go ahead and earmark it for you. And then I had other city managers that were like, nope, that goes to general fund, and that goes wherever we need it to go.
And they
And-
needed a new broom at this park. It came out of your motor vehicle accident money. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Know that well. Yep.
And one other thing to add to what you're talking about on the tariffs, that's bringing the cost of drones up across the industry.
Right.
And I kind of feel like that's intentional out there to
Yeah.
make sure that there's going to be that profit level on drones, American made drones. And another thing that I think maybe, I look kind of young, but I'm a little old. I've never seen prices come back down when they go up.
Oh, no.
Rarely. I mean, rarely, you know.
Just
Remember,
like
in
your
this
taxes
group,
never
Wayne,
really come back down.
Yes.
Wayne, in this group, remember, age is relative. Okay.
Yes.
Just remember that. Okay.
Yes. So
I've got
Go
an
ahead.
idea,
Yeah.
and I'm shopping it. Literally, I'll shop it to any senator, congressperson, congresswoman, whoever. That is, I think, is reasonable, and I'm going to shop it around. I'm going to see if I can get somebody to bite. But we have a 25% tariff right now on all Chinese drones.
Chinese-
That come
All
in.
Chinese
It's not
products.
DJI. It's all Chinese drones.
And
That's the
DJI is
Roku's,
gonna-
not Roku's,
fucking
Roku,
that
whatever
up.
the other one is. Yeah, but they're the biggest player, obviously. You know, whether
Yeah.
it's RC, anything that comes from China that's a drone has 25% tariff. So instead of increasing the tariff in the DFR like Stefanik wants, let's just scrap that one first of all. You got to get rid of any ban, you got to get rid of any phase in, because that's pointless. It actually destroys the things more than it helps. But if you'll take that 25% and earmark it, say, okay, it's no longer going into that giant toilet bowl called the general fund, which I've said many times. It's going to a fund for not first responders, not critical infrastructure, not ranchers and farmers. It goes to the U.S. manufacturers. And then they can come and say, look, for $25 million, I can get this thing production ready. So you'll go, and some of you probably heard me the same spiel before. You come and say, for $25 million, I can do this. Say, okay, here's this. The fund managers say, here's $5 million. You meet this benchmark in this amount of time, and you come back, we'll give you another 10 with another set of benchmarks. And then we'll give you the other 10 once you're ready, and then we can get it ready for production. And then also open it up to things like chip makers and body manufacturers, whoever. So you're not a one-stop shop. And if somebody, a chip manufacturer, can say, I can do this for Joe's drone manufacturer, then that chip manufacturer can also kind of say, look, I would like some of that money. It can be a grant, it can be a low interest or no interest loan. But we have money coming in, billions of dollars a year coming in already, that can be used for what Stefanik wants to do without destroying the industry, without causing more money out of, try that again, without getting more money, taking more money out of my pocket, out of y'all's pocket, taking food off of my table. I mean, that's a little drastic, obviously, but it's that simple. And for security, set up a thing, you define security measures for every drone, and then define where they can fly. If you want to fly the Hoover Dam, which I'm trying to do, that's tricky. Then you have to qualify these. You have to go by these security standards. If I want to fly Mesa Verde National Park, which I have done, most people know, I couldn't use the best gear because I had to use a blue drone, and so the video for the National Park Service suffered because
the product was
so. What's the security issue of me flying over 100-year-old ruins?
Yeah,
none. So there has to be some logic behind
it. Yeah, exactly. The logic is what's missing here, Vic. And every time you mention her name, okay, somebody's losing their wings someplace. Okay, that's all I'm saying. It's just
I've been told not to say her name, but I'm sorry. I'm
yeah.
gonna say it.
Try not to. And I'm a former New Yorker, so
I know.
okay. I had to
What if I
drive
say
through
Rick
that
Scott?
island.
What happens if I say
Oh.
Rick Scott's name?
Yeah.
I don't have a DJI.com email address, so I can pretty much say whatever I want.
Look,
So-
we're at the point where we have to understand the NDAA is an annual event that we have to get through.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And the problem with everything coming out of Washington is it's bulging with so much minutia. Okay, these authorization acts.
Oh yeah, they
that
add
we
everything.
have to be vigilant about what's going in there, because this stuff could have quietly gotten through, and then we hear at the 11th hour that we have no recourse. So we have a responsibility as this community to keep focused, focused on what's happening
That's
in
right.
Washington.
Wayne,
Yeah.
tell our audience here what you think, or what DJI would like us to do at this point in time. I mean, I have this scroll going on the screen right now. Write your lawmakers to oppose the DJI ban, kind of thing. But I'd like to, what else can we do to ensure that that this doesn't happen, and we don't, number one, lose the ability to make money using a DJI drone. But for my audience here, for the old fart audience here, I mean, it is a hobby, and we're going to lose a hobby that's been extremely valuable for, I've heard from so many people on how this hobby has taken them out of depression and alcoholism and everything else, that this hobby has really created a wonderful situation for them. And now we're on the brink of losing that. What can we do?
Well,
Wayne?
hopefully I'm still there. It looks like looks like
Looks
my
up.
camera's stalling a little bit, but the key parts are the education and awareness. We mentioned this at the beginning, is a lot of it is just a lack of understanding of the technology, capabilities, and limitations, and the regulatory limitations already in place. And so the awareness, for us to get awareness out there to end users, the hobbyists to the professionals. I talk to a lot every day that whether, again, they're hobbyists or professional, that didn't know that we were facing these challenges.
Right.
And so that awareness is one thing, and that, the Drone Advocacy Alliance, DSPA, your program, your Facebook page, those are all key things that we need to make sure we're getting the message out to everybody to know, hey, there's serious challenges to either your livelihood or, again, something that's bringing you, joy, enjoyment. The next part is the education, is getting with, elected officials and staffers, and explain to them, again, not only the technology, but why is it important to you. You've got, one of the greatest things I've seen is how an 18-year-old coming out of high school for as little as $40,000 in some cases has outfitted themselves and created a business. We have one of our dealers that started out in high school. He was starting to sell drones in high school, and now, after college and through college, was still had this business going, and now is a very successful dealer, and that's been amazing. That we hear so much about Generation X, Y, Z, Nintendo, whatever, and then I see on Facebook people talk about this generation doesn't want to work. they don't want to do the work we may have done in the past. But there are things that do interest them that they do want to do, and this is one of those that's been fantastic to see. So explaining that to elected officials, not just the public safety aspect that we could go all day about, how it's impacted public safety so great, but getting that education, getting that awareness out there is the biggest thing. It's not going to go away. I learned from my father years and years ago. You hear about it once in Congress, you should be warned. You hear about it twice, it's going to happen. And that's where we need that engagement as another final, leg to the chair, to the stool, is the engagement of getting out there again and getting with the elected officials and making sure their voice is heard. Unfortunately, we're seeing some of the same canned messages from some elected officials of, DJI has been, and they always want to call out DJI, which is very disappointing that we would have anybody target one company with legislation. I think that's disappointing again as an American. But they we've been worried about these DJI drones for a while. But have you gone out and learned about DJI drones, or are you just listening to someone that comes in their door because they're from an American manufacturer?
Right.
That's I'm sorry, but that's
Look at the angle, right? What angle is it
Yeah.
coming from?
Yeah.
What direction is this coming from? Yeah.
and I think that's a disservice to the position you hold, to not hear all sides. And I understand if they want to take a foreign company's their side as with skepticism. Okay, I get that, but at least let them in the door and plead their case. We do that in courts all over the world, just about. We're not doing that here.
Yeah. I
Well,
have to tell
it's
you,
go ahead.
I was going to say,
ahead.
I had the president pro tem of the Nevada Senate was sitting in my family room yesterday. Okay. And she said, we don't need paragraphs. We need bullet points.
Yeah.
We need to be quick and direct, and we want to understand. We want to hear both sides, but we don't want to hear, don't write a 3-page article to your congressman, but
Yeah.
I'm telling everybody that to continue to write both the Congress and the Senate, or the House of Representatives and the Senate. I mean, right now, it's eventually going back to both. So continue to make them all aware, but you have to start it with, how is this going to affect you personally, as a citizen, as a constituent of that particular representative, as a voter in their district?
Personalize it. Personalize it.
Yes. How is this affecting you?
Yeah.
And I think that's more impactful. I mean, I saw that the over 6,000 messages from firefighters and law enforcement made it to the Senate, and that's why the countering CCP was not included in the Senate version of NDAA, was because they got that many messages from law enforcement and firefighters.
Well, that's because there's organization on that side. You have the Law Enforcement Drone Association, you have the Airborne Public Safety Association, you have drone responders. Now, right there, that represents 6,000-7,000 various departments across the country. Okay, so the fire service side, the police side, we got that under wraps pretty good. The problem is private sector. Okay, and what Vic has attempted to do with his organization is to bring that voice and amplify that voice. But you have, what's amazing to me is with drone technology, the amount of verticals that exist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we have to have
yeah.
every one of those chattering at the same time. We really do. And you know, the emails are great. Follow it up with a phone call. Call their offices. You know what, Vic and Kenji and you know, you guys have helped to lead the way, but the Drone Advocacy Alliance provides a guide. Don't just take that and send it out. Take that and, like Bob said, personalize it. How does this individually impact you? How does it impact your neighborhood, your community, your city, your state? And in turn, how does that impact your legislator? Now, one thing that we're trying to do at our upcoming drone meetup in November is we're going to have politicians there, and we're going to put drones in their hands and controllers in their hands. Because look, I used to be in fire service. I'll be a crack dealer now. Okay. Because we feel you put a drone in their hands, let them take off, let them see what it's capable of. We now have going from adversary to ally. I think that's a good approach for all of us.
And you know, and there is so much power in that, putting it in their hands. You know, you get a lot of times, I've seen it when I go help dealers with demonstrations. There's the city manager or the finance director that's like, you know, they're just wanting a toy. And then you go and you put it in their hands, and they have that wow factor of, okay, this is a tool, and total mind change on their part. On another note, I teach Part 107 part time, and you know, I start the class day one telling everybody, okay, tomorrow we're going to fly some of these smaller drones. And as soon as we're done, probably half of you in here are going to be on Amazon when we get back in the classroom looking for a drone. So talk to me first and let me help you.
Make sure it's an affiliate link you give them.
Said, let me help you pick the right one. And I had a class a few months ago. I did a class, and sure enough, you know, I said that, and here we were, day 3. And I had one student that just kept talking about, you know, I heard you say it. And I was like, no, I was only really in the class because I was told to be, and why not? And then we flew those, and you were right. I was on Amazon right away, you know. So that's, again, that education part of the limitations as well as the capabilities. And also that's where I love having manufacturers at other events, because one, the customer gets to see side by side who do they want to go with, and the other is having those other manufacturers have their product there so that people can, again, see why, well, see what the American companies are up against as far as what technology is out there. And that does give a better understanding of where the American market is and why there is help that is needed to the American manufacturers, and proper help, as Vic and you guys have mentioned. But it also helps everybody understand why we can't just stop the industry right now and wait for the industry. Imagine if we had done that with steam propulsion back in the day and said, you know what? We had one boiler explode and that's it. We're done. We're not going to do steam until they're perfected.
Well, Wayne, that you mentioned that, I believe it was in 1908, it was illegal to bring a Brownie camera on Coney Island Beach.
Wow.
Because you were stealing the vanity of others. Now, you can't walk a foot on Coney Island without being photographed by somebody. Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Who's out there trying to put their vanity on Instagram?
I just
Really?
wish there was some vanity left on Instagram.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
But you're absolutely
Well,
right. I mean, to stifle an industry, and then my last just soapbox point is, as an American and as a conservative, who I think you can pretty well guess who I vote, what side I normally vote on. But I don't think adopting communism ways to combat an industry problem is the right thing to do. I mean, I thought we were a capitalist country, and outlawing uh competition seems awful communist to me.
it does.
For the government to tell me who I can and cannot purchase, um I have serious problems with that. There's a right way and a wrong way to handle things, and I definitely think we're going not only down the wrong way, but it's a slippery slope. We've already had enough of our freedoms taken away. Unfortunately, our freedoms are under attack every day. That's why I love that I live in Texas. I there's many amendments. The second of them that I really love. And in Texas, I just saw today where our attorney general is going to sue the city of Dallas if they don't change their upcoming handgun policy for the state fair of Texas, restricting Second Amendment, freedom. So
Open carry on is
yeah,
that
they're not going to. What I saw was they weren't going to allow weapon holders to bring their weapons in. And I'm not going to debate all that right now, other than, that just shows the freedoms I get to have in Texas that other states don't get to enjoy. And so,
right.
I think this is just another chipping away at our Constitution.
Well, again, we have to strive for a few things. Transparency is number one. We have to know what's happening in order to address it and voice our concerns. That's first and foremost.
Mhm.
Secondly, we have a responsibility. You bought a drone, you now have a responsibility, not just to take the trust exam, not just to advance your education through Part 107, but to speak up as part of the community.
Yeah.
And those are the things. And again, I want to bring it back because we do want to definitely promote our drone meetup in November. I want to bring it back to that community aspect of why we're having a Vegas Drone Meetup. Okay. Besides Ray Kelly being a pain in the ass pest in our ear constantly telling us we had to have one, but to basically enforce that community aspect of this, call it hobby. I mean, I started on the public safety side. I'm a retired guy now. Retired guy likes to get out and do stuff. Okay, instead of being a couch potato. And those drones, I was going to say that drone, if my wife thought I only owned one drone, I'd be ahead of the game. Okay. Going out, adventuring with these drones, okay, provides me a sense of purpose. Because not only do I go out and get to fly them, I get to come home and play with that footage I collected, turn it into content, share it with others, So this is something we need to continue to promote, and we need to continue getting the word out there that this is a community. And it's so much fun to fly with others, right? I mean, going out and filming a job is one thing, but going out and shooting the shit with a few friends, throwing your drones up and, hey, take a look at this, and have you tried that? Or I put these new master air screw blades on, that to me is better than sitting around the bar anytime, tossing one back. Not that that's a bad thing.
You get a lot less trouble with a drone that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's one other thing that when you talk about the community and we talk about the hobbyists, that I know some people may understand some of the proposed legislation better than I do, and hopefully Vic can chime in on this, but I don't think we're really talking just drones that are going to get affected by this. I have a concern that, some of the wording is ground control stations manufactured with components in China.
Yep.
And so, I have an RC boat. I'm actually right now 3D printing a 3D model of the USS Antietam, my father's last ship that he was on, an Aegis cruiser. A huge project that I have going on. And guess what? All the components I'm using, not by intention, just by that's what is out there, is Chinese manufactured components, from
right.
the speed controller to the ground control station. So what is this going to do to RC hobbyists? And then not just RC hobbyists, but what other radio controlled devices in the industry will this I mean, in other industries, will this affect? And
Gimbals.
so,
Well, do
Gimbals?
current does the current manufacturing of airliners not include Chinese subcomponents?
Yeah, but those aren't included in any of the legislation.
No, I understand that, but this is the fear that I have, Vic, is that this groundswell, okay, misguided as it is, starts to consume other entities.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And we're walking around with the biggest content collector known to man. But
Yeah.
this is not an issue. So I do have an issue with them focusing on a single company. Okay. Again, I feel that's un-American. Taking this xenophobic approach. We decided to go to globalize. We decided. Probably more than any other nation on the planet, the US has driven that globalization. And now we want to pull it back.
No, I tell people that too all the time, is that, 50 years ago, we started sending manufacturing to China, and we started getting used to paying, pennies to have things manufactured from China. And what China did is they started educating their children 40 years ago. And those children are now the R&D department at DJI. Those children are creating better products than we could ever create, So now we're paying that price, kind of thing. So that's definitely the case.
And
So
in the middle of this, I remember us also in the 80s being angry at Japan for stealing our jobs, and because Japanese products were superior, and
Sony TVs,
Betamax. Wait a minute.
I sold Zenith TVs and I sold Sony TVs, back then.
and now we've just shifted. We, as Chief said, we've globalized, and now we've shifted our target of who we want to be upset with today. And again, I understand that there are political issues that have caused concerns, that cause me concerns, and but then again, I don't target the people, and I don't say all of the people are the issue. I'll say this: I'd love to work for an American company, and if there were ones out there able to do for public safety what DJI is able to do, I would love to work for them, because that's my goal, is to still continue that mission of helping save lives.
Right.
But unfortunately, right now, we're not seeing that in the drone market, those American companies. And you know what? DJI has been an incredibly great company to work for. I have to say that, that my colleagues are amazing. I just had a birthday a few weeks ago, and my colleagues, reaching out from even in China to wish me a happy birthday. DJI is a great company to work for, great culture to work for, a lot of great people that I get to work with from all around the world, not just China.
Yes.
And our owner doesn't like to be in the spotlight much, but a lot of the things that I've seen and heard come from him, he shares the same goal. He wants these products to change the world for the better, and I truly believe that is his mission as the owner. We're not owned by any nefarious groups that we keep getting told we're out there owned by. We're owned by one person.
Yep.
And again, he started out in his college dorm just wanting to be able to fly an RC helicopter easier.
Yeah.
That was his first goal, and then now he's got a company that he's able to change the world for the better. And then I'll also just real quick, if you don't mind me saying, we don't just make drones. We have everything from power stations to bicycles, electric bicycles now.
Yeah.
Video transmission equipment.
Yeah.
Some of the best video transmission gear on the market right now.
Yes.
Right. And one of the things we get accused of is we're a Chinese spying program. Wouldn't we want to do it opposite? Wouldn't we want to ease into the market with those other products and look benign and then spring the trap of drones out there? We went right to drones. That was the first product.
Yeah.
And so again, as Chief said,
I have a couple guys waiting in the back room here that would like to ask you a couple questions, Wayne, if you don't mind.
Let me do something real quick, if you don't mind, because I'm going to have to leave here pretty quick for another meeting. Let's get back to the DA for a minute, to Drone Advocacy Alliance. If you go to droneadvocacyalliance.com, hey, Mike, hey, Andre. If you go to the top of the page, we have something called August Recess. We have a link there. And right now, the Senate and the House are both on recess. And so they're supposed to be, and it's not like recess when we were in kindergarten. They're actually supposed to go home and work. Although probably they treat it like recess from kindergarten sometimes. Reach out to them. They're supposed to be in their home market. They're supposed to be talking to their constituents. And if you go to our August Recess tab on droneadvocacyalliance.com, the DAA can help you then contact and figure out what you need to do exactly. So I just wanted to say that real quick. And also, I'm doing stuff on the phone as I talk, and so Wayne Ken says hi.
Oh, hey,
Mr. Pong. I told him I'm busy right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Before Vic bounces out, I put
somebody's making noise here. Go ahead, Dre.
Oh. No, Dre. It was Dre that was. Dre,
Okay.
We can't hear you, Dre.
Can't hear me? Okay, hang on.
There you
Now
go.
we can, yeah.
You have Wayne disease.
Okay. But I was saying that, I know there's been comments or digs at the Drone Advocacy Alliance because people believe that DJI, being as big as they are, they're the one behind it. And that's why I like if we can get a grassroots organization, call it what you want. But I like the term drone coalition group because like Tom was saying earlier, we need to encompass everybody, the FPV community, the RC plane community. We need to get numbers of everybody into one group under one umbrella, like Tom was saying earlier, to bring those numbers. So when Vic goes to the FAA for his meetings and everybody else, and he gets a chance to talk to other local municipalities who are passing these crazy laws, he can say, this is not just me, Vic Moss. This is me and 250,000 other people
Yes.
that I represent.
Yeah.
Numbers, I can say two things mean something in legislation: numbers and money.
Yeah.
And that's just a state of the fact. Numbers and money. If you got both, you're golden. But you got to at least have one or the other.
Yes.
Right.
Stuff.
Yes.
I will say though, the DAA is not run by DJI, just so people understand that. I know people think we are. They are part of it, but they are not on the board. They we can literally kick them out if we wanted to. The board members could.
You and I know that, but from the outside
a lot
out,
of people don't.
The Chronic was already making a notion
There's
trying to
a
have them
certain
investigated.
senator or congresswoman that I'm not apparently allowed
Right.
to name.
Yeah. She's
who
already trying to have
actually wants
investigated.
the Department of Justice to investigate us, and it's just like
Right.
Don't you have
And
anything
that's
to do,
why we
sweetheart?
need to have a outlet, or actually say an inlet, actually, what I should be saying, to have a membership People sign
We
up.
do. We
not
do.
just to join us,
DAA
but-
has it, and we have different aspects of it too. It's not just drone pilots. It's
right.
different communities. It's different retailers. It's all kind. Everybody from big retailers down to small retailers.
Right. And I think
and
I think
drone
we need,
pilots and all that stuff.
yeah, and I think we need to push that we want everybody to
tried.
sign up as a member of the group.
Bob does a great
So-
job.
Yes,
I think Bob does a great job of, but we want to make sure we push that so people know
Appreciate
that
that.
these
Mhm.
numbers count and what they count for.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
yeah.
And I'm just
Absolutely.
one of
Other-
many people there, by the way. I just happen to have the
Other
title
than
of
that,
director.
this
Just
is my
somebody.
own
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm at my day job, but I'm right here prepping for my weekend job.
Nice.
Okay. This is the site I have to go do. I know my camera just flipped on me. I need to go do Friday morning to put ground control points in place. It started off with about 15, and now it's up to about 25 and stuff.
Wow.
And I use a GNSS system to set those ground control points and everything. That's why I tell people when you get into the business aspect of this, Tom was saying there's so many avenues that you can go
Right.
down.
Lots and
So many
lots. of-
opportunities that are out there that if you're willing to learn, willing to invest on yourself. I gotta tell people, bet on yourself.
Mhm.
Bet on yourself. That you'll be surprised that this little hobby that as a lot of all of our wives and not will say, "Oh, you out there playing with your little toy?" I said, "Well, when it pays for the vacations and the new car she wants, then it's no longer a hobby."
Yes. Michael, do you have a question for Wayne here?
Yeah, I just wanted to come on and say I'm looking forward to meeting all of y'all at the meetup. And Wayne, I'm a Texan. Again, I don't know if you remember, we've met in Houston, South Florida. Michael Clanahan is my son-in-law.
Yeah, that's right.
And Dre, I'm looking forward to meeting you and Tom both, face to
Yeah.
face.
Definitely, Mike.
We
Definitely.
are.
And Vic, we've met
Hey,
before too. Looking forward to seeing you again up there.
It'll be fun. It'll be
Wayne,
fun.
are you going to be at the commercial expo?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yep.
We'll
And then
strategize.
Wayne, you're going to be at the Vegas Drone Meetup, right?
I'm planning on being at that as well. Yes.
Yes. Good.
Great.
Excellent.
And
Good.
I will just say this: I don't know if anybody else is usually, but I'm usually somewhere where I can have a cigar and
Okay.
maybe a good bourbon.
We're going to have
I
some
like the bird
places
part.
where you can have a cigar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can find the bourbon.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'll join you
That's
on that.
right. That's
It's-
right.
I'm still-
as you're sitting at one of those automated machines that probably has Chinese subcomponents in it, I think a scantily clad female will bring you a bourbon for free.
Oh,
Yes.
well,
Just saying.
Yes.
So that's always
Yeah.
an option out here in the Vegas Valley.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, Bob, by the way, I'm still waiting for sponsorship forms.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, Bob.
Yes.
You got to pass that info along to me. Vic will
Okay.
get that out to you today. Okay.
Okay.
Me also. Yeah, I need one
Yes.
also.
Yes.
I
Yes.
thought-
Dre also.
okay. Okay.
I was gonna. I'll be calling you. I don't know
If
you got
I'm not
time to
mistaken,
talk-
I think those packages are already in your possession, Bob.
Yes, they are.
But okay, good.
So
Otherwise,
that's the roadblock right there.
Somebody dropping the ball here, Vic.
I feel like I'm on the Brady Bunch.
No.
I'm Alice. Okay.
Yes.
So I've already. It's in Tupperware, already in the freezer for Bob. Okay.
No, I want to tell everybody that, yes, definitely Recovery One Drones is a sponsor of the Vegas Drone Meetup. DSPA and DAA are also going to sponsors of the Vegas Drone Meetup here. We also, Pilot Institute is not only a major sponsor, but they are also providing multiple 107 courses to give away.
Nice.
And of course, our what we're calling
Platinum
our
sponsor.
platinum sponsor is DJI. And DJI has also agreed to give us $5,000 in equipment in drones and products to give away at the Vegas Drone Meetup. So we are really excited to be, so embraced by so many people that are going to participate in this event and make this event just a super success. So we're
Yeah,
very
and-
excited
and-
about it.
If I can, Bob, just a little more of a pitch.
Sure.
Look, what we're doing at this meetup is we are charging a registration fee. Some people had pushed back on that, and I'll explain why we're doing that. The logistics of putting this whole thing together is pretty hefty, and having registration gives us the ability to calculate that attendance. And at $49.95, you're getting much more than that in value back in the gift bag. So we need to do this because we need to understand our head count so that we can plan appropriately. We're having it at a beautiful resort. Green Valley Ranch is just a beautiful place to be. We have a great lineup already there. It's a beautiful spot, great people, a world-class casino, world-class restaurants. It's in a shopping district known as the District. We will be going out the night before for a get-together in the District. I think that will probably include bourbon. Just check it.
And
Okay.
cigars.
And cigars. But then we have a lineup the next day that we're going to go out to Cornerstone Park in Henderson, Nevada, which is a city within the Vegas Valley area. And we have Metro Police. We have Red Rock Search and Rescue. We'll be putting on demos. We'll be flying together. We have beautiful enclosed undercover picnic areas. The Henderson Parks and Recreation have basically partnered with us and have become a sponsor to where they're helping to waive all the permit fees, and they want to participate. A good thing about Henderson also is the fact that now that they know Bob and I, and now that they know we happen to be retired, they're trying to tap us to help them with their summer programs and their after-school programs.
Yeah.
Which,
Do it.
again, is expanding their STEM education, which we're fully involved with at this point. But we have a great lineup. We have great giveaways. Like I said, we have politicians that are coming, legislators that are coming, that we're going to be putting drones in their hands, okay? Get them addicted, get them as part of the community. We have the media coming, so
Yeah.
we hope to get some good press on this as well. And
Yeah.
again, our goal was to make sure we called this the first annual so that we
Exactly.
can do this over and over again every year. So if you can, please do us a favor. Go up to VegasDroneMeetup.com, register, sign up, get your hotel rooms, folks. This
The resort.
is not an easy town sometimes, especially that weekend. We have SEMA, which is in town. That's a big automotive aftermarket show. That's in town. We have Billy Joel and Sting at the Allegiant. We have the Vegas Golden Knights playing that weekend. We have the Henderson Silver Knights playing that weekend. So there's a lot of things going on. Get your rooms as quickly as you can so that you're not left.
Now is the
out
time
cold.
to.
And no,
sign
you
up
can't
for the
stay at
room.
my house. Sorry. I'm already and although I think I did say my RV was available. I'm only charging $1,500 a night for the RV rental. Okay, but that doesn't include the site you're going to put it on. So you'll have to figure that out on your own. But
Yes,
I say it's much cheaper to stay at the Green Valley Resort. You won't be disappointed.
that's right. Yes. November 8, 9, and 10. And the link that's on the bottom of the screen right now, that takes you to the our individual link, the Vegas Drone Meetup link at Green Valley Ranch. And that's the spot there to make the reservations for your rooms. We have rooms set up from Thursday, the night before, from the 7th to Monday, the day after, which is Veterans Day, November 11th, which is a federal holiday. So we are looking forward to everyone coming out. We will have a birthday party for Bill Grace. I don't know if your people are familiar with Bill Grace. He is the oldest old fart in Old Farts with Drones. Bill will be turning 95 on November 4th. So we are going to celebrate his birthday on November 9th with everyone at the drone meetup there. And we will have, he's turning 95 and he's pretty nearly every day flying DJI drones. And, he's truly, I've had him speaking along with Dre to one of my Congress people here in Nevada. And we really want to make sure that this is just a wonderful, wonderful event. All right. So anybody else want to put their 2 cents in here before we shut this thing down? Anybody?
Well,
Wayne,
I want to say,
thank you.
yeah,
Go ahead.
definitely. I definitely want to say, hey, Vic, it's always appreciated, what you've been doing for us, what you've been advocating for us has to be recognized by the community.
There's a
I
bunch
really
of us, so appreciate that, though.
You lead a good way. Let me tell you that. Coming from fire service, that's one of the most important things. Wayne, hey, thanks so much. Again, you're a force to be reckoned with. Appreciate you being out there. Okay. And I know you have basically a newer role in DJI, but continue advocating for our brothers and sisters in the first responder community. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. And
And Mike,
you guys.
I can't wait to fly with you, Mike. And Dre, there's no excuse for us not already had flown together. So come on, man.
Well, you guys keep traveling through my town, bypassing, going other places.
Because it gets too hot there. It gets too hot there. We don't stick around too long. I want to turn it over to Wayne and give Wayne an opportunity to address.
Go for it, Wayne. It's all yours.
I just would really like to say thank you for the opportunity to come on here again. I think everybody's doing a great job of helping promote the industry. And thank you guys so much for what you do and the support you give me. That means a lot. Thank you guys for your hard work and the opportunity to talk to you guys again. I love coming on here. And maybe we can just sometime come on where I can just talk about drone flying with you guys.
Yeah. That would be fun. Yes. We would love that. We would really, really love that. That's excellent there. Vic, you want to say goodbye? What do you got?
Hey, thanks for everything. Definitely keep an eye on what's going on in DC in your local area, and give it a shot. Make sure those politicians understand what they're going to do. If they what's going to happen to us if they do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Educate them.
Yeah. Good. And Dre?
Well, all I can say is just echo on Vic's behalf is that going through this process, a lot of us have found out that many of our elected officials do not truly represent their constituents. It's more about representing the lobbyists and the powers that be. So we have to be diligent in our efforts, triple our efforts, and to come together as a group to have our voices heard.
Okay. Thank you.
Michael.
And Michael?
I want to back up what Vic has said. It does help to contact your congressman. I've been involved when I was practicing architect in the firm. I went to probably 12, 15 different rally days for the Home Building Association, dealing directly with our representatives for concerns of the home building industry. And it does help to meet them personally.
Yep, it does.
Definitely.
It does.
Definitely.
I got a chance over the last couple weeks here to speak to a lot of my legislators, and Dina Titus, who's a congresswoman from my district here. She is planning on coming to the Vegas Drone Meetup. She wants to meet the the people that are involved in the drone industry. She wants to fly a drone. She wants to, go back to Congress and tell people of her experience, and her parting comment to me was, follow the money. And I have to tell you that coming from a congresswoman telling me, follow the money, that's where the problems are here. And so I just want to share that with everybody. So again, Wayne, I'm really indebted to you to be on here today, and I really appreciate DJI's incredibly great support and everybody else's wonderful support. Vic, I have a proposal I want to talk to you about. So I'll probably give you a call.
I'm married. Oh, not that kind of proposal. Okay, just checking. I mean, you're cute. Sorry, but taken.
Hey,
No,
listen,
but
listen. That was the best armrest you ever had, Vic.
Yeah.
At last year's expo. The best armrest ever.
Vic has rested his elbows on my shoulders multiple times. Yes, he has.
The perfect height.
And I don't think it was your shoulder, by the way.
Yes, that's okay. You can rest your arms on me anytime. All right. I love you all. Thank you all very much for being here. We're going to sign off today, and I really appreciate everybody staying on, okay? Anybody want to stay on the line? Fine. We're going to break the stream, though, and say goodbye to all our friends in the chat.
We have drinks afterwards.
Okay. John K. says $49.95, a normal amount. Okay, good. We will see you all there. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you all.
Take care, all.
We're signing out. Take care.